So thank you for joining the meeting, everyone. I'm very happy that you are here. I'm going to first introduce myself because there is also newcomers into the network. And then I'm going to introduce Bagua Jane and Bart Myers from the Center of Responsible Leadership. And then the idea is that this is a meeting in which you can also participate. So it will be nice if you can introduce yourself and maybe you can tell your name, your country, and your area of expertise. And if you want to share your position, that will be also great. And then, so that will be somehow the exercise. Then we will move to the main challenge or the next milestones on how we are going to organize this project. And at the end of this session, the idea is that we are able to create some working groups, and then we will have an open discussion and open dialogue about the project and about the milestones. So that my name is Virginia Sanz. I'm originally from Madrid, Spain, but I'm based in the Canary Islands. I have a master degree in big data and data science and a master degree in international human resource management. And I started this project 3 years ago. So there was, I was observing this escalation of tensions at the geopolitical level. And on the other hand, I was watching the exponential growth of artificial intelligence. So that's why it came to my mind to create this project in order to propose a global AI system for the international relations. So the idea of this system will be, on the one hand, to solve the problem of anarchy in international relations, and on the other hand, to try to align AI with human values. And in order to do that, I think that it's important that we bring all the people together from all the different cultures and all the different countries. And I think this is an exercise that is needed for the future of AI and the future of humanity. So that's why I was creating this project, and I started to build this network these years ago. I interview many people around the globe, and many of you were already telling me that this is something that we really need. And some people was also comparing this to the International Space Agency when there was conversations to create such system. So they were comparing this system for the AI. And that is why I'm always looking for ways or different ways to move forward this project. And that is why I also contact the Center for Responsible Leadership. They were working in a similar project. They wanted to create a global charter for the responsible use of AI. And then that's why we decide that maybe it was interesting to merge both projects and to go and work together. So I'm going to pass the floor now to Bawa Jane and to Bart Myers so they can introduce to you what is the CRL and what they have accomplished already. And they are going to explain how they are going to support us as well. So Bart, the floor is yours.
Thank you. We're also joined by our colleague Jamie Peters, who's going to help to facilitate today. Yeah, a little bit briefly about me. First of all, thank you all for coming. This is an incredibly important moment in time, and clearly, clearly the forward march of AI is seemingly unfettered and unlimited right now. And at the same time, the risks and dangers are so significant, as we all know and have all seen, and from a child who was coached to commit suicide to now beginning to see more and more deep fakes and the distrust in our comments. So wonderful to be here. This is really a very key focus for the Center for Responsible Leadership. I work very closely with Bawa Jain, Jamie Peters, and Virginia within the Center for Responsible Leadership on issues and initiatives just like this. I'm going to let Bawa speak to the background on CRL and introduce you all to our work.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I know we have people from different parts of the planet. So first of all, thank you for joining this call. Thank you, Virginia, for getting your network on board. We are deeply grateful. Virginia and I know each other from a number of years on other matters, but when this project was coming to birth, so that's when she was in touch with me, and fortunately, we were also thinking similarly. So to my mind, what interests the CRL? We are a group of a platform really, mobilizing leaders from across all sectors to be responsible leaders. So what do we mean by responsible leaders? We're not here to judge anybody. We want to ask you 3 simple questions and you judge for yourself whether you're a responsible leader. Are you making decisions based on the present or the future? Are those decisions based on conviction or convenience? Are they constructive or destructive? We want to simplify this. And looking at the leadership space today, there seems to be a big vacuum. And our existential challenge of our times is AI. As Yuval Noah Harari said it very well, if you are not on the train, you have missed it. We cannot afford to miss it because this is going to impact every one of our lives. You people are the experts. I, for one, know very little, but I'm very keen to learn. What I do know is that we need to bring every sector, every stakeholder to the table. This is such a vast issue, such a vast challenge that it behooves each one of us to get on board. And so today, you are the leaders. You are starting this all off. Similarly, we'll reach out to other sectors. So I have a great team here of people who are very able, very capable, and very eager to get going. So know that the Center for Responsible Leadership is your platform. Use it the way you want. Create whatever activities, groups you want. We have a good network, and I'm sure that together we will accomplish something which will be truly transformative. So thank you all very much. And I'll hand it over to Jamie to go ahead, facilitate, and take the conversation forward.
Wow. And thank you, Virginia, and thank you, Bart, for your introductions. I'm just really excited to be here today and get to talk to you all. My expertise isn't in AI, it's in politics. And so I'm really excited to hear about what you all put together. And I'm really excited to just hear from all of you. And I want to meet you all and learn a bit more about you and what you're doing and what your thoughts on this project are. So we would love to have each of you introduce yourselves. I know we've started in the chat a little bit. We've got people from India, Brazil, Paris, all over the country, which is absolutely amazing. I'm in the Bay Area of California in the United States. My name is Jamie Peters. I work with Bawa and Bart and Virginia and our colleague Christine, who's on the call as well at the Center for Responsible Leadership. And as I mentioned, my background and expertise is in politics, mostly in the United States, but I've worked with heads of state and government from all over the world. I am thrilled to meet all of you and for Virginia to be able to bring us together. And she's just been an absolute phenomenal addition to the CRL team in everything that she's brought us on this particular topic, and including bringing all of you together today. So I would love to start with anybody who wants to go first. Just name, title, where you're currently working, where you are in the world, either today or where you're from, whichever you feel good about sharing. And then just one thing you're interested in talking about today. I would love to do that. And we'll try to keep everybody's introductions to about 5 minutes, just because there's about 20 of you on the call that we haven't been able to meet yet, that's awesome. So if you want to, I'm just figuring out Virginia, what do you think the best way is to do this?
I mean, I think everybody is free to start. I know that there is some some icebreakers there who can initiate this conversation, and I think it's great to have a small introduction, just to say your name, where are you coming from, what is your areas of expertise, and if you want to share your position, that's great as well. So Dr. Kotecha from India, welcome. Would you like to start?
Okay. Hi. Yeah. Hi. Okay. So just an introduction, and then we'll come back to the ice breaking, right? Or you want?
Yes, we will
Okay.
have later an
So
open
hi
discussion.
everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hi everyone. First of all, thanks Virginia. I think she took a lot of efforts to have a very diverse group. I happy to see from the diverse backgrounds as well. I can understand, which is highly required, for AI. I'm Ketan Kotecha. I'm working in a university which is extremely highly ranked in the world, which is called Symbiosis University in India, in Pune, which is very close to Mumbai. And I am a dean of engineering here, represent big community of a lot of institutions in engineering. However, my interest is in AI. I'm a hardcore AI engineer. I did my master's PhD in artificial intelligence from Indian Institute of Technology, IIT Mumbai. And since more than 20 years, I'm teaching, researching in artificial intelligence. I have collaborated with a number of organizations for research funded projects, including Cambridge University for applying AI to supply chain, Brunel University for responsible AI. We already finished one particular project. To Imperial College of London, we are working on some image generation using AI, and many others. Like Minal University, we have AI surveillance using explainable artificial intelligence. So again, responsible AI kind of project. Also worked earlier, 5 years back, with Arizona State University on a project which is fake news detection using responsible artificial intelligence, and Queensland University on healthcare with explainable artificial intelligence. So these are some of the areas where I have been working in a funded project as a principal investigator, and in majority of them we have used explainable AI into it.
Incredible.
So I'll just limit myself to the introduction right now, and then we'll come back to the ice breaking or discussion as well. Thank you.
That was phenomenal. Thank you so much. And thank you for all the work you've done so far. I feel like I'm going to say that after all of you talk, though. So I'm going to try to keep this short. Nina, you're next on my screen. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, good afternoon. I'm from London, UK. I'm Dr. Nina Kojima from University of Glasgow. I'm actually from January next year, I'm not there anymore. I'm also film director and producer, so I'm doing 2 films on Mars and space junk at the moment. But I am actually a researcher in ethics in extraterrestrial humanity with nanotechnology and artificial intelligence. So everything what I do as a fellow of British Interplanetary Society, member of Mars Society. I'm actually in LA next month at University of South California for my talks on nanotechnology and ethics of nanotechnology on Mars. So I'm very into Mars and extraterrestrial humanity. That's my main area of research field. So I hope I could contribute something, but it's going to be literally more about our future life. I hope we're going to land on Mars by the end of this decade or beginning of next decade. So I hope I can bring some wisdom,
I'm sure you will.
The ethics of nanotechnology on Mars is an absolutely phenomenal topic, and I feel like we could talk about that all day right now.
Yeah.
I love it. I love that you're already thinking about that. That's an amazing topic. Thank you so much, Nina.
Yeah, you can watch my films on Amazon.
Perfect. So a quick humble brag, quick plug there. All right. Amila, if I butcher your name, I'm gonna apologize ahead of time. But do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. Hi everyone, my name is Amila Akagic and I'm from University of Sarajevo. That's in Bosnia and Herzegovina. It's Balkan Peninsula, so Southeast Europe. I'm associate professor at the Faculty of Electrical Engineering. computer science and informatics department. And I teach AI, and I do machine learning, computer vision, and embedded systems as well, and many other things. So I'm happy to be here, and I hope I will be able to contribute. That's it for me.
Well, I'm sure you will. Awesome. Denisa, you're next on my screen.
Hi, everyone. Do you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Hello. I'm very glad to be here. In the same time, proud and humble to be around some very professional people like you are. I was very happy when Virginia offered me to be part of the group. I am actually an assistant professor at University of Tirana, Faculty of Economy, Department of Informatics and Statistics. For the moment, I'm also a PhD student focused on AI, especially text mining. In the same time, I'm an IT project manager for a media here in Albania, focused on children's safety, on using technology and AI for specifically. I'm also part of the International Association of Safe and Ethical AI, directed from Professor Stuart Russell. And I'm very happy to be part of both of organizations in order to share our knowledge and to stay here alive and safe. Thank you.
Absolutely. Please do stay alive and safe. We need your wisdom. All right, Gian, you're next on my screen.
Hello, I'm John Paul.
John Paul.
I'm from Malta, University of Malta. I'm doing a doctorate in public policy. Basically, my subject is about how can AI help solve the big issues like climate change, criminality, poverty. They are called wicked problems. What I'm doing with my team is that we're building a virtual world, and we're going to try to solve it there so that we can then try to solve it in the real world.
Awesome. Thank you. Christine, I saw you on my screen. Do you want to, Christine's one of our partners here at the Center for Responsible Leadership, and I'd love to have her just introduce herself as well. If she can. All right, I will come back to Christine. No worries. Let's see. Alexandra. Make sure. All right. Everybody can hear me, right?
Yes, we hear you.
Cool. Just making sure. Luca, you want to go? Oh, there's Alexandra. Go ahead. We
Maybe having
can't hear
audio
you.
issues.
We can hear you, yeah.
All right. Luca, do you want to go?
Sure, I'm Luca Deck from Germany. I'm with University of Bayreuth, which is in southern Germany. I'm a third-year PhD here at the chair for information systems and human-centric AI. And me personally, I'm researching on fairness and transparency in AI, and really interested in what's going on here. And I'm representing my PhD supervisor, Professor Niklas Kühl, today.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Who's next on my Nelson?
Yes. Thank you so much. I will turn my video on. Yeah. Hello, everybody. Nelson Ndugu. I did my PhD in computational sciences, in particular in the area of planet formation, planetary sciences. But then right now I teach in Uganda, in Makerere University, which is one of the oldest university in Africa. But then of recent, despite my background in computing aspect of physics, I do a lot of research in legal aspect of AI. So in particular, right now, we are really trying to understand the geopolitical perspective of legal AI. In particular, using the large language model, right? So it's a consortium of 3 countries. There is Poland, there is India, and there is Uganda. I hope I'll be of help to this consortium. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Alexandra. Or
Yeah.
saw you
So
on my line.
sorry,
Yeah.
it was the wrong name.
Oh,
Hello,
that's
everyone.
why. So
So I
sorry.
was using a different account. Oh, okay. Hello, everyone, and it's really nice to have you all here and for inviting me. Thank you very much, Virginia. So my name is Khalil Khadita. I'm originally from Lebanon, and currently I'm working at the University of Warwick in the UK, Coventry region. I've been here, I joined them 3 years ago, and I did a PhD in computer science. So originally, it was in theoretical computer science. And recently, I have been teaching, I taught a lot of different modules or courses. And mainly my students are choosing topics related to cybersecurity and artificial intelligence. Although I don't consider myself an expert in this area, but I have a good understanding on how how this technology is affecting our everyday life. So currently, I am not doing any specific research in this area. I'm teaching focused, but I collaborate and have discussion with a lot of my colleagues who have, a very good record in research, whether in AI, computer security, and other fields in computer science. So hopefully I can give you some insight about this whole field. Okay, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. And apologies for the name mix-up.
No, it's okay. It was my fault. I was mentioning Alexandra, and I was thought, okay, it's not me. It
You're
was
like, wait a
my
minute.
screen. So yeah, that's why I put the video on. That's fine, and the audio on. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay, let's see who's next on my screen. Raul.
Hello, everyone. Start my video. Okay, it's a pleasure to be here with you. My name is Raul Benítez Paradeda. I'm professor at State University of Rio Grande do Norte, Brazil. And I'm a researcher in the fields of affective computing, social robotics, human-agent interaction, persuasive technologies, digital inclusion, and education mediated by intelligent systems. And I'm looking forward to contributing to this important initiative and collaborating with you all. So that's it.
Awesome. Thank you and welcome. Sumiko. We can see you, but we're having trouble hearing you. Ooh, still struggling to hear you. I know how tough it is. No worries. All right, I'm gonna come back to you. I'll give you a minute. All right, Virginia, I am gonna pass it off to you to hit up the rest of the group so that I do not butcher anyone's name terribly, because that is definitely gonna happen, and I don't want to do that.
Okay. Maybe Russell Alpirat want to talk? Russell? Let's see. Or maybe he is not connected then. Professor Mounim El Jacobi.
Hi, Virginia. Thank you
Hello,
for
Mounim. Mon
thank
ami.
you very Bonjour. Ah, tu parles français? Thank you for your kind invitation. Thank you to the all organizer for the initiative. So I'm pretty happy to join. So actually, I'm Monet Mediakoui. I'm professor at the Institute Polytechnique of Paris in AI since 2008. I am originally from Morocco, Casablanca, but I did my PhD in France, and then I moved to several other countries, especially in North and South America. But here I am since 2008 in France. I always have worked on AI. My PhD was on AI, and all my courses are on AI. And in particular, I give a course on explainable and trustworthy AI, so which is quite related to this topic. Other than that, so I do research on different areas of AI, so modeling aspect, theoretical aspect, but also application on healthcare, on sports, on biometrics, media, agriculture, so a lot of applications. And over the last couple of years, actually, I've been quite involved in some institution regarding safe and ethical AI, whether in France and at the international level. So maybe we'll have time to discuss the topics later on. Thank you.
Thank you, Moni. Maybe Ako Monsilovic could continue.
First of all, I apologize for being late. I had some meetings that I could not finish early. So, in a few words, I'm the co-founder of Global AI Ethics Institute. I was also involved in a lot of activities that are in the broad space of ethics, risks, but also I'm doing a lot of education aiming the management of the companies, like AI for managers. And I'm kind of trying to do a lot of research through the institute and on my own. One of the recent ones that I'm hoping to publish paper is AI and religion on, for example, priests from different religions. And I'm collaborating with the people from all around the world on the different aspects. In general, I'm doing my PhD on the impact of artificial intelligence on the socioeconomics, right, on the different aspects of the society. So not from the technical side, but from the socio-psychological perspective. By my initial education, I'm a psychologist, but then spending a lot of time doing human resources, working in international companies, and then currently dealing with different projects in digital economy. So this would be in a very few words. I'm going to also send my LinkedIn link in chat, so people who are not connected with me can add me there, and of course I will add you if I find you there. Thanks.
Thank you, Ako. Maybe Tiriji Hassani want to talk now?
Yeah, hello everyone. Thank you first of all, Virginia, for inviting me to this consortium. I'm Ziri Hassani from Kosovo, from University of Prizren. I'm associated professor at Faculty of Computer Science. I'm teaching subjects related to big data, IoT, using AI in smart agriculture. My research field is related mostly on using AI for predicting weather condition, related to finding best models in in agriculture. Also, last year I was as Fulbrighter in my postdoc at Iowa State University. Recently, my research on is published, which is related to propose a model which predict the best time when to do grape spraying, because the climate changes has affected this field, and we have done comparison between Kosovo and Iowa. This is mostly about me. I'm mostly the subject I teach are related to AI and big data. And also I'm dealing with web programming too. Thank you.
Thank you. Awesome. Maybe Kekes Gabor want to go next?
Thank you so much, Virginia, and thank you for organizing this amazing event. I'm Gábor Kecskés from Hungary, associate professor. Actually, I'm a lawyer and a public international lawyer and international environmental lawyer. So I'm dealing with AI regulation in international law and also in European Union law. And I'm also very much interested in the sustainability aspects of including the social, the economic, and the environmental sustainability effects of the AI and the AI-based applications. So public international law and international environmental law and specific relationship with AI and the AI applications. So in a nutshell, that's me. Thank you.
Thank you, Gabor. So Moed Soltani? Sorry for my pronunciation.
I don't know because I have an unstable connection. Okay, I am
Okay,
also
no problem.
Tony from. Donc, thank you. Firstly, thank you, Virginia, for your invitation and your initiative. Donc, I am Moaz Sultani from Tunisia. I'm a professor at National High School of Computer Science, Manouba. Donc, my main research included modeling and content. Also AI application in medicine and water treatment. Sorry to be not used my cam. Donc I always like work in backstage. Donc I give them courses in AI, especially in machine learning. Thank you.
Thank you, Moed. Michaela Ulieru? Michaela, can you hear us? I don't know.
They had,
Okay.
I think they're the ones who had surgery recently and can't talk. They introduced themselves by in the chat.
Okay. So I think Cynthia Petrovica, maybe from Latvia. You want to introduce herself? Or...
Can you hear me, see me?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Cynthia Petrovica. I'm representing Latvia, Riga Technical University. Sorry that my colleague Egons was not able to join us. Yeah, but I tried, yeah. I'm working as a researcher and also as an assistant professor, in our Institute of Applied Computer Systems. I'm representing AI group. Yeah, previously we had department for the AI and systems engineering, but the department was like there were no departments, and now we have these research groups. Yeah, so I'm kind of representing AI group, but we have also colleagues for machine learning, also for robotics. So we have distributed this AI direction. So I'm helping with the subject related to AI, like fundamentals of AI. In 1 month, I will have to start the course related to AI in business, where also topics about ethics, trustworthy AI will be relevant as well. So also this information can be useful for me in this course. So I did my PhD in the direction of e-learning and affective computing, emotion recognition in the e-learning process, adaptation to the emotions. This was my PhD, which I finished a few years ago. Now I'm mostly working also on some projects related to natural language processing, large language models, generative AI. So everything related to language technologies. So this is where I'm now kind of focusing on. Yeah.
Thank you,
So,
Cynthia. Okay, I think, I don't know if Russell Alpitar will join the
Hello.
commission, the presentation.
Yes, I'm sorry. I have an unstable networking and I'm in a coffee shop right now. So if it falls, it's just because the conditions here are not well. I am Russell Alpizar from University of Évora in Portugal. I'm originally from Costa Rica. I am now in Costa Rica, coming from Colombia, where I have been establishing some networking institutionally. And I have been involved in an interesting innovation project in Colombia with the comunas, and see how some leaderships in the comunas are working together with the fundings of the governments to improve quality of life in these comunas. Very interesting subjects. And I have known Virginia for a long time, where I have the pleasure to meet her on a cost project that she was managing. And I have seen how keen she is in bringing people together to work on these issues of AI, humanity, ethics, and the issues of space and future. So I am keen to supporting her and anyone who collaborate with her on these issues. I'm originally a statistician, biomathematician, and interested in philosophical issues of AI and ethics also. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Russell. I think we can try Sumiko again to see if the
Okay,
microphone
can
is
you
ready.
can you hear me?
Yes.
No?
Now
Okay,
we
okay
hear
now.
you. Yes.
Yeah, because
Thank you, Sumiko.
I was trying to use the new microphone, but it didn't work for some reason. So anyway, hi everyone. And thank you for inviting me. And my name is Sumiko Shimo, and I'm based in Canada. And I have Japanese background too, and I am a strategic advisor on responsible and inclusive AI and ethical innovations. And previously, I called it the IEEE 7014 standard on the empathic AI as a vice chair. And then now I'm involved in ISO SC42 as a expert member. And also I'm involved in UNESCO's Women for Ethical AI and Ethical AI Without Border programs. So yeah, so I'm working on the ethical AI mainly now. So then I'm just really looking forward to working with you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Sumiko. Okay, I think we have Christine and Michaela Uliero, and then we can continue with the presentation. If they can talk.
No, I just want to take a minute, hearing all of your introductions from different parts of the world and with the experience, I think this gives me a lot of hope. Mila, I'll tell you, especially I think it was 2004, we did a major youth summit in Sarajevo on the 20th anniversary of the Sarajevo Olympics. It was the World Youth Peace Summit. It was hosted by the governments, all the presidents, everybody came there. And so there were youth from more than 100 countries who came to Sarajevo at that time. So I always have very fond memories and painful memories because I saw firsthand some of the damages and the impact. And many countries that you people mentioned, I have visited. I've had the honor of knowing many leaders there. That's just been my past. So looking at you all today, it just gives me a lot of memories. Even we are reaching interplanetary, as Nina said on that. That's very fascinating subject to me too. I'm part of a network talking about that too, Nina. I can tell you more about it later. But in this context, just know that, my background has been in the field of religion. In the year 2000, I served as the Secretary General for the Millennium Summit at the United Nations. For the last 35 years, I've been in the UN community. And why do I mention this is because Virginia had mentioned to me of certain apprehensions people have with engaging with the religious community. I'll tell you one thing. What I like to do is work with people who I have fundamental disagreements with. But I see the potential. The potential of religion is one of the largest resources that we have not tapped in enough. This Pope has currently made a big commitment on AI. He took the name Leo XIV because of his emphasis on AI. So while my background has been that, but the CRL is multi-stakeholder. So here we want to bring the most prominent, eminent, committed leaders from across all sectors. So you all today here, this already we are covering a big part of the world here. I mean, if cumulatively we add the population which is being covered here, we're covering a good part of the world. Wouldn't you say that? So, but please help us learn more, see who you can expand in your networks, and let's get this going in such a way that perhaps we can have a little impact, because unharnessed, unchecked, AI can be a force of great destruction, but we also know the possibilities with AI. Let's use it for the positive use. So we are looking forward to you all, very grateful to you all. So let's get the discussion going.
Thank you, Bawa. Okay, Bart, if you think maybe we can continue with the presentation. So let's frame a little bit the challenge.
I would like
Oh,
to,
yes.
because
Sorry,
yeah,
Lubisa, sorry.
no problem. Yeah. Hi, everyone. Lubisa Bojic from University of Belgrade and AI Institute of Serbia. I'm currently in Dresden at a conference related to human-computer interaction, mainly communication scholars presenting here. Also part of the International Communication Association. This conference is related to this group of people. Also, I do research on the intersection of AI and society, how emerging technologies affect society, and I'm part of the Orbit project related to religious bullying in schools. So one interesting piece of research that we are currently doing, assessing how AI is giving advices related to religious bullying from different countries and different perspectives related to different religions. I also do a research, and I recently submitted a paper that may be interesting for this group related to God's providence and recommender systems, comparing God's providence to recommender systems, and addressing the issue recently mentioned by Jeffrey Hinton related to maternity instincts and whether we should direct AI towards this. Thank you very much for gathering us and looking forward to participating.
Nice to see you
Thank you,
here,
Lubisa.
and people from the region. Obviously, there is a number of people from Eastern Europe. Glad to see all of them.
That's great. At the end of the day, the AI community is not that big. I mean, you get to know each other because you go to different conferences and summit, and yeah, so it's good to have also a global network. I think that is very exciting to have this network from different countries and different backgrounds, because this is positive and it has value in itself. But when we are talking about bringing this proposal to create this global AI system or the global charter for the responsible use of AI, maybe it's a little bit overwhelming to think on this huge task that we need to accomplish. So our idea is to start small, to settle some small milestones that we can accomplish. And on these regards, there are many many ways in which you can, get involved in this network. Of course, you can engage in social media, and you can also participate in conference and maybe making some interviews for a podcast that we are going to launch. But you can also bring together people to the network because, we want to do the things right, and we need to have different voices from different perspectives. So the CRL, what will be supporting us is on mobilizing all key sectors of society because they have also these experiences in the past. But I think that for a small and concrete task that we can focus on for the next few months is to create a white paper that we can present to political leaders. So the idea is to get the idea in a document for the critical need for the global charter for the responsible use of AI, and also outline the framework for the global AI system. And on this regards, that's why one of the goals of today was to create some working groups. And I have somehow created 8 main working groups. I know that today we are only 20 people because it was very difficult to manage the agenda of everybody, but there is many people in the network already. So maybe Bart, you can show the working groups slide, please. Yeah, so there is main 8 working groups, and the first one will be focused on the ethics of AI. So the idea is that this group define, the principles on which this AI global system or also the charter should be based on, and this will be should be grounded in human rights and fairness, but also taking into account a cross-cultural perspective. So the goal here is to bring people from many different countries to be able to provide an ethical framework from different perspectives as well, And the idea is, of course, you can choose one group, or you can also participate in several groups, but also you can bring together people who work on these areas. Like, for instance, if you know human rights experts, anthropologists, philosophers, experts on AI that are working on bias, on alignment, and so on. Maybe this is a group for them, and maybe they have an interest in this project, and you can also bring them in. The second group will be focused on global AI governance, and this group also will analyze all the current international governance systems, and the idea is to propose international institutional structure for the global charter and the global system. To make the proposal at least. So in this group, we need political scientists and international human resource experts, and also people who has experience working in multilateral organizations, like Sumiko was mentioning that she's working at UNESCO, but also there are people working working with UN in the network. So it's also important to have this kind of people who have already experience working with these institutions. Then the third working group will be focused on the legal and regulatory framework. So what we try to do here is to have an analysis of all the AI regulations worldwide, to see if there are any way or we can harmonize the laws. And there will be a focus not only in intellectual property, data privacy, digital rights, but maybe also provide some recommendation for creating some global legal standards, which currently we are lacking. So we have needs for lawyers and international law experts, and a specialist in these topics of intellectual property, data privacy, and legal text compliance, and so on. Then
Oh,
we
Virginia,
have
can I just
yes.
pause you for 1 second? Thank you
Yes.
so much. You're doing a phenomenal job of diving really deeply into these working groups. I want to make sure we have time for our open discussion as well. And I'm obsessive about clock checking because I know people's time is so important, and we have people from all over the world on here at all times of the day right now. So maybe we can just go through really quickly. So then the fourth working, and we're going to send this presentation out to everybody after the call, so you'll be able to dive into these areas deeply. The fourth one is technical infrastructure, data and standards. And then Bart, if you could flip to the next 4 for me, you can see security and global risk, socioeconomic impact and global equity, future scenarios and foresight studies, and then communications, open science, and engagement. And again, we'll send this out so you can kind of dive into what we're thinking, and then like figuring out where you could fit or what you could fit into. But something Virginia said at the top of this is really important, and it's something that I know is really important to Bawa and Bart and myself as well as part of the Center for Responsible Leadership, is really having very specific outcomes from the big things like a white paper, which is a months-long task, to the smaller things that we can do, you know, in days and weeks and months in between those times, and really thinking through what are concrete actions we can not only take ourselves, but we can ask the people who, the general public, who are the people who are going to support the concepts that we put forward to governments and political leaders to take along the way as well. And so to further kind of all of that conversation around these concrete steps, as well as the conversation around what would make a great white paper, do these working groups make sense? Does anybody have other thoughts on what we should be focused on? And then in addition, does anybody else know of other concrete steps that are happening already, or have thoughts around what we could do? I love the ideas of like everything from the entertainment industry to the political industry to the engagement industry to the financial industry, and how do we bring all of those groups of responsible leaders together to have this conversation and to really move these principles forward. And so to enlighten that, we really want to open up the floor to all of you. Now we know a little bit about who you are and what you're working on, but we'd love to hear thoughts from you. And Virginia, you're the expert here and can really just guide this conversation. This is definitely not my area of expertise. If we talked about like international human rights, I'm like right there with you. But on the ethical AI side, I just use technology to make sure people can register to vote and contact their lawmakers in the United States right now. So that's kind of my expertise. Or when I ask ChatGPT to write an email for me, also that. So but yeah, Virginia, would love to have you just kind of lead this kind of open conversation with everybody. I texted Bart earlier and said, "Holy group of geniuses, Batman," which is a very American thing to say. But like, this is an incredible group of humans, and we really want to hear from you and your thoughts. And so I'm going to stop talking now, because I'll just keep rambling and turn this back over to Virginia to really lead this kind of open conversation, so we can hear from all of you. So Virginia, all yours.
Thank you, Jamie. So yes, basically the idea of today was creating these working groups, and one of the milestones is the white paper, because I think this is something that we can bring to political leaders. But I don't know what is the view that you might have on this white paper, and I'm going to be very happy to hear from you if we can complete this paper in a reasonable time frame. And yes, I don't know, you are open to talk and to share your views on this, or on the way that we should be moving forward as well. If anyone has.
If you want me to start, I can.
Yes, okay.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you, Mumin.
Yeah, so thank you for this initiative. So I think the idea of having this white paper on one side, the working groups are very important, very nice. but I want to be critical from the start. I think right now all of you know that we are living in over the last year, so AI is all over the place, right? But now what we are witnessing, also anything related to ethical and safety starting to be all over as well. So not at the same scale, but we are starting to look at institution, etc. So I think for this organization that you are putting in place, one thing that should be discussed is what is the particularity, what is the things that are particular, how you are going to distinguish ourselves from what is already proposed. So you just mentioned the white paper, okay? So I believe if we look at the internet, I didn't do it, we'll find a lot of white papers right on this. But it doesn't mean that there is not a place to do it. Of course there is, because there is still a lot of things that are missing. So we need to position ourselves, what we want to do that others have not done. So whether it's this in white paper, whether in the aims with the objectives, the working groups, all these aspects should be discussed, I think. If we don't want to be just another platform that do basically the same things.
Yeah,
Oh,
I understand. Yes, Nina,
can I
yes.
just add something? I'm just afraid that, you know, with the white paper, we're going to lose the agenda straight away because, as you know, IA is not actually something we develop commonly. You know, we have like China and it's non-regulated. And even if we do the white paper and we try to stick with some sort of framework rules, you know, it's going to go a completely different direction there. And I'm not just trying to point a finger on China. Please don't get me wrong. But as a philosopher, I can tell you, you know, that there is a great thought of Bostrom and Yudkowsky who say, like, you know, we can, where are you going to justify AI in when the AI, let's say in 10 years, becomes superior than human mind, you know, because they have quite common comparisons, you know, when you have a baby artificially created in the lab, you know, and then put into mother's womb, you can't say that that baby is less good than, you know, something you create as an AI, yeah, and we globally cannot have the same position because there are countries, you know, and I can tell you that the problem is also with regulating our space, you know, like China can shoot like 50, 70 satellites per day if they want, you know, nobody can regulate. The only treaty which they never signed, and the oldest one is from 1967. So you cannot regulate. There are certain things you cannot regulate. So I'm thinking about writing consuming all your thoughts into a white paper is argument lost to start with. I think AI is AI, you know. You just have to go from an ethical perspective, you have to go to human and educate and try to establish some narratives, you know, for people to understand it. That starts in the nursery, actually, because you can write 10 white papers, you know, you're going to have other, you know, and that's how it is, you know. It's also like in politics, you know, you can have very different agenda, you know, you can see the world crisis from 10 different perspectives, you know. That's why the war happens, yeah. And I think this is my opinion, you know, on a white paper. I'm
Yes.
sorry, I could go, I can invite you all to Sahara Desert now and talk about it for 3 weeks, but you know.
No, thank you for sharing your opinion, Nina, and I agree. To some extent, the idea is to be able to explain, you know, how, and also trying to reply to Mounim. So what is the difference about this system is that we try to bring all the cultures together. So Right now, we see in the world, for instance, there is a divergent views of the world. So you have ChatGPT, we have the Western view of the world, and then we have GigaChat in Russia, who have a different view of the world. So the AI will be different, and they have different concepts of what is good and what is evil. So also there is another discussion on the ethics of AI, that we always say, okay, you know, AI should be aligned with the human values, but you know, how you align AI with human values if you don't put all the different cultures together and all the different people together. So the idea for the global system is to create an infrastructure that we can feed this system with the values from all the different cultures around the world. And that is why, I mean, I don't know if you read my paper with the proposal 2 years ago, in which I describe how these different cultures and, you know, there is cultural differences between countries, you know, and this is also
yeah, Virginia, if I may reply to you, I think this is very
yeah.
good point that you are raising. I think the fact that this group will gather a large, diverse population from different background, and the fact that this will you will try to make sure that the different view angle from different cultural background are there, and to ensure that this is what will happen. I think this will be like a hallmark of this group, and this is very good point. And I think that you should set this forward in when you talk about this group of how it is different from the others.
I like what I'm hearing. I like what I'm hearing a lot, especially the concepts around, because we know that not just cultural differences, but cultural narratives really drive the adoption of any kind of political or cultural ideals and facts. And I love the idea of, and Nina, I know you're like really into this, is like, we know that especially in the United States, culture drives politics, right? The narratives, the storytelling, the education, how we spread the message is really, really important. Would love to hear from Nina, would love to hear from you again. Also, totally got you. You're next. And then, but would love to hear from everybody else as well. Just not even just around the idea of is it a white paper, is it not a white paper, but like the concepts, the ideals, the way we should be approaching the conversation, everything that goes into how do we really drive an ethical message. Something Virginia said was not evil or not good, and I think the ethics live between evil and good, no matter how you kind of define those. And so we'd just love to hear from everybody. Go ahead, Nina. I know.
I just have a very good suggestion, because as an ethicist myself, you know, what we can hook on and then basically build and I'm going to give you a good example why I thought now about it. It's in virtue ethical approach, because there is a momentum in our actually civilization. Actually, the Greeks weren't our current civilization, but if you think about Aristotle, Confucius, and Aquinas, they're all talking about the same thing. They're talking about virtue ethical perspective. So here we could lose everybody who could oppose like the argument of politics and policies and different cultures. And so we stick onto virtues, you know, and the virtues are actually quite flexible and plastic, because, you know, when we invented bow and arrow, there are tools like AIs today, you know, our human family grew bigger because we were able to feed more people, we were able to survive and eventually walk out of the Canyon Valley, and now we live South Pole, North Pole without fur, you know. So we have to stick with the virtue, and that virtue can then drive us, and maybe, you know, to then share like in a common, you know, human sense, you know, the virtue ethical perspective. If we're going to go to deontological way or maybe into political way or any kind of other way, we're going to lose the argument. That's the way I see it. I mean,
yeah, that's really fascinating. I think the way that I approach kind of any issue is an all of the above strategy, really. Like, I think we need this and this, right? Because I think so many different people have, you know, different ideas on how we can approach something and just drive to critical mass for adoption of any kind of paper or policy or any of those things. But again, just using all of the narratives to do here. I'm going to call you out. Zahid, I don't think we heard from you earlier when we were introducing, and I don't know if you joined late, but would love to just have you quickly introduce yourself, and then if you've got any thoughts, would love to hear from you.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. You can call me Halim. Actually, due to conversion in time, I may have missed the initial part of that. Let me introduce myself. I am Zahid Halim, and I am a professor of computing and AI here at the National Yunlin University of Science and Technology in Taiwan, right? So presently it is around 11:40 p.m. in the night here, right?
Thank you for being here.
No, it's my pleasure. Actually, usually my routine is like my brain neurons start working at this time, right? So, so they are all firing each other. So it's more active sort of thing, right? So I think this is a very brilliant initiative. But what other than my introduction, like I'm here in the Department of Information Management at the Yunlin University of Science and Technology in Taiwan. We call it YunTech, right? So primarily I work in the domain of effective computing. But coming to the agenda, which is here. So I think other than the ethics, everybody is talking about ethics and stuff, but I think all of this goes back to the basic. If we recall from the initial 90s, there was a scientist, Isaac Asimov. He suggested 3 rules of robotics. You can simply Google that, and they will give you the 3 laws of robotics, right? So let me summarize that. It stated that a robot may not injure a human being, or and secondly, the second rule was a robot must obey the orders given by the human, except when such orders would conflict with the first law. And he also gave the third law as well, that the robots must protect its existence as long as such protection does not conflict with the first 2 laws. And later he also came up with the 4th law, and it was that a robot may not harm humanity, or by in any action allow humanity to come to harm itself, right? So if you go back to these basics, I think if you replace the word robot with AI, I think that gives us the foundation for what all of us are here to talk about, right? So primarily we are talking about the ethics issues. So I think the 3 laws of robotics, which are now 4 laws of robotics by Isaac Asimov, provides us the basis. But the important issue is the enforcement of that. See, there is always a game of predator and prey. So we may come up with some ethics and laws or some suggestions or white paper, but enforcing that is the huge bottleneck, and that also needs to be thought of. So that's from my side.
Love that. And I know that in addition to growing up with iRobot in my house, and the Apple TV version of the show right now, the 3 laws of robotics have provided a lot of fodder for Hollywood narratives about what happens when robots and artificial intelligences suddenly figure out how to break those rules. So phenomenal. Love that. I noticed we also had, I think, Israel and Gear and somebody else hopped in. If you haven't had a chance to introduce yourself, would love for you to hop on and do that in addition, but also would love to hear from as many people as possible. And, you know, I'm not afraid to call you out. So if you're looking at me, I will definitely just call on you and make you talk. But anybody else?
Yes, you see, I'm coming from an technology background, not ethics and others, but right now where we are going after the generative AI that has been passed actually for a technology. It is on agentic AI now. So in the agentic AI, the if I give an example, there'll be an agent, I think, dedicated to you. Let's say you are booking an aircraft ticket, and then based on your PNR, all your histories, everything will be known to the agent. Even if after 3 days, if you call to the same airlines, even though there may be 10 million customers, the same agent will reply. It means all the information will be with the agent, and securing that privacy and ethical concerns are going to be more important. And agents will take a lot of decisions itself, unlike right now. Even if you write something on ChatGPT, finally you give a next prompt chain of thought, but it is going to be old now, and agents will take their own decision. So how much decision we can give it to the AI, how much power? So if you can work around that, there are a lot of opportunities. I feel it looks very lousy, gray, but that's an opportunity for a researcher to work upon that. My question is that AI is taking decision. So it's the first ever technology which is, replacing our, carbon brain is replaced with a silicon brain. But how much power we give to that silicon brain to take a decision behalf of us, which agentic AI more or less will take almost all decisions in future. So if you can work upon that and suggest to the policy makers that there should be limit here. Otherwise, I humorously tell to my students that there'll be a breaking news in a couple of years that your autonomous car hijacked you. There'll be your own autonomous car, or your robot, once you go to home, try to kill you, because by the time you come back home, the robot will realize that my master is exploiting me entire day. So this kind of things are going to happen very soon, right? So that's what is my point of view.
I love that. I love that. And I thought, I have a friend here in the Bay Area who's actually working with a group of incredible humans who are focused on, instead of solving the agentic issue or the robotics issue, they want to write the foundational code that will allow any hardware system to use their foundational programming. And I'm like, if that ends up happening, then we've got like one company controlling all of the thing. That frightens me. Sorry, go, Denise, you take your mic off.
Hi, actually, I'd like to be like more clear on what we all want to have. Like in the description of the group, we have Global Initiative for Ethical Use. In this way, ethics, we shall see it in anthropological way, like Nina mentioned. So we shall see where it stands between one human being and others. So what is the ethics in this moment, and how this ethics will be converted regarding AI? Or shall we see it more formally between different groups in society, and trying to divulge these values through scientific ways? So what I am more concrete in explaining this, I'd like to propose, like, we should be more formal in the way that being too philosophical in this moment is very difficult, because we are of different backgrounds, and maybe we can be sometimes some of us excluded. Maybe we can focus more on inspiring people to be part of our community with some values and some specific topics. Like, for example, I would propose, first of all, check what is the regulation in the moment in all countries. Like EU, does it have any code of ethics regarding AI? USA, does it have it? China, and all different other countries. I'm talking here because Albania is doing some AI strategy on the topic, but there is no included an ethics code. So what I did last days in a public consultation, I sent some ethical guardrails in order to be included in the strategy, so we can analyze what exists in the world right now. Then how it how all these regulations are aligned with religion, with science, if we want to be in the middle between them, religion and science connected, and how can we divulge them? How can we educate people, especially children, all people, or people that cannot use AI and are very regionalized in or discriminated in poor countries, for example. So maybe our focus should begin from this. What is actually being done? How can we divulge it in order to get more people in this initiative? Then we can have maybe conferences, workshops, presenting papers, and being more concrete. I don't know if I'm clear or.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
No, that's
Okay.
phenomenal. I think that's great. Go ahead, Virginia. Sorry.
Yeah, yes, so thank you. And maybe just to summarize a little bit of my idea on how to encode these AI values, human values in AI, because I think this is the main problem for robotics and for all the AIs that will come in the future. And so now if you go to ChatGPT or to any other tool, you will say, okay, there is a baseline of the Declaration of Universal Human Rights, but the system itself does not understand what is that, because they don't understand what is justice, they don't understand what is freedom, they don't understand. At the end of the day, there are only words in a vector, but the system itself does not have this understanding of what are human values. And I think that the huge effort that needs to be done here is to encode this, but we cannot do this with scientific papers or I don't know, with the information that is in social media or something like this. I think that the future system of how I imagine that it could work, and also it will solve part of the issue with the future of work, is to co-create the system with the people, and with the day-to-day people who can provide a meaning to the AI system, because who decides what is justice, for instance. It's very broad topic, but on the other hand, if you create a system based in blockchain for submitting the data, and then if you create, for instance, a smart contract, so you can pay the people to contribute to the system, there is a way in which you reduce this impact of on the future of work, but the people can earn money by contributing to the system in a way that they can provide feedback on human values, and the system is constantly rewritten about how the societies are evolving. So I think that in the future the people will come, and there is this is AI, and AI is replacing jobs, and AI is replacing people from society, and it's disturbing societies. So where is the place for the people? So the idea will be that the people can co-create the AI, because they are going to have the impact of the AI as well. And also, we are not thinking just in this generation, but also the future generation that will come. So I think this is, for me, the idea, is how to sell this to the political leaders, because they are the ones who had to sit on the table and discuss. And at the end of the day, all this needs to be encoded in the system. Because it is what Dr. Kotecha said about agentic AI. Okay, AI is learning. You give access through an API, and of course the AI agents will get access, but you don't check the intention of the agent. And even if you check the intention of the agent, as the agent is going to learn by itself and has reasoning capacities and planning, it will change this intent. So the intent in the future can be different from the one that got the access. So that's why the global system is going to put like a ceiling to what is allowed or not.
Yeah, Virginia,
That's
I
all.
see some.
Sorry.
It's no. It's a phenomenal point, and I have lots of thoughts on human values and what that means. I mean, just in the democratic political space in the United States, the idea of cash bail versus no cash bail is one of the like biggest indicators of like where people fall. But it's a huge conversation just inside the Democratic Party itself. That we've got some hands up. Nina's had her hand up for a while, and then Professor, would love to hear from you, and then anybody who hasn't had a chance to speak. We've got about 9 minutes left in this conversation. We only need a couple minutes at the end to just follow up with next steps and then have Virginia close out. But Nina, would love to hear from you.
Yeah, sorry, I just wanted, I'm going to be fast. It's we need to be aware a little bit more about a time frame, because look, when people are going, and they are, by the way, I have this information to land on Mars, and you can only do that with artificial intelligence, you know, and nanotechnology, because obviously you can't bring the army and police station and build everything there and then bring human there. You know, it's going to be very, very almost like indigenous people life, small, you know, but then again, totally run by AI and nanotechnology. You know, the thing is that there is no regulation there, there's no governments or governance there, you know, and that's what's going to happen. And it's going to happen for our lifetimes. In fact, in few, I mean, let's say 6 to 8 years, my prediction. So the thing is that when you start going into each separate territory of each government or something, you know, you're going to lose the argument, and you're going to go back to what I'm trying to say is just a virtue, and you have to practice and exercise this virtue, and that starts with the nursery school and education of small children, and then progressing, and each one has to be responsible. Look, I mean, we had the great invention of nuclear bomb, you know, the first nanotechnology. We knew what atom is from Aristotelian time, you know, like for over 2000 years before we finally made it as a humanity, and look what happened. And AI is also a tool. It's a new technological tool, and it can go this way as well, you know. So what I'm saying is you can do whatever you want, but there will be people on Mars soon, and they will do whatever they want, you know, and you're going to lose the argument. You can invest time into papers and stuff, but they're going to do it, you know, and we're going to probably copy them if they're going to be successful, hopefully.
Absolutely. That's a phenomenal point. And, you know, if I remember my Stargate, they used to talk about Stargate as a very sci-fi program in the United States that I definitely watch a lot of sci-fi. But they talked about especially the quote unquote aliens from the show talked about when they had moved past quantum mechanics, right? And in our day and time, quantum mechanics is like the end all be all. We're not moving past that anytime soon. So it's an interesting point. Go, Professor. Would love to hear from you. I know you have your hand up.
Comment? Sorry.
Yes, you go right ahead.
Okay. Sorry, the core of the problem is simple. The creation of a smart entity could lead to us to losing our dominant status and the ability to shape the future. I would like to use a human analogy for AI. AI now is like a child, and any error in child education by parents or loved one or abandoning this duty to the state will lead to a distorted personality in adulthood. Before talking about AI and its relationship with humanity, we should first discuss who developed these models, the type of data that it used to train this model. The question is, which included this data? It's cleared or not? It's respected to human rights or not? It's the main objective, personal profit, military use. Then, however, there is no regulation or laws that control the data used in the model. Then we cannot do this with social media or publisher paper, but by the creation of international laws which must be applied by, for example, several countries. For example.
Go.
Can I go?
Yeah, please go.
Yeah. I have a couple of things to say. I think there are 2 or 3 things. The first thing is that regarding regulations, so all over several countries like Europe, United States, UK, and so on, now you have regulation on AI, the European AI Act, you have the something similar signed by Biden, etc. But I think this is just one part of the problem. I mean, you may have the best regulation in the world. It's like for the constitution of the country. So even if you go look for in dictatorships, you still the constitution, you will find no problem with the constitution, very clean, very good, etc. The problem is in daily practice, what happens. So this is on one side. The second, so I think Nina has, you talked right in the beginning about China and how they want not follow ethical use of AI, etc., which is good, which is right, and this is a very good example. But I think the problem today is not only China, is basically every country in the world. And this is, I think, a group like ourselves need to discuss this kind of things. So because if you look at the acts are very good, regulation are very good. In United States, they are perfect. In Europe are perfect. But is there a misuse of AI in the United States? Well, there is. I mean, you have peaceful people making demonstration in the United States, but still they are tracked by face recognition and so on, and all over. And let's be frank, there is a genocide that is going on right now. This is since 2 years, and AI is used all over every day. So are we able to discuss this? Are we able to, this is AI is used in this genocide and it shouldn't, or we can just talk globally about virtues of AI that's, yeah, we should be like that, like that. I think we will just be talking in a vacuum, and yet other documents, other white papers, as long as we don't name where the failures of AI are, I don't think we will go further.
Love that. Zahid, and then Bawa, and then Virginia to close us out. So go ahead. Oh, Halim. I remembered this time. Go, Halim. You're on mute still. Halim, you're on mute still.
Sorry for that.
No
So while members were speaking, it gave me some time to think about things, and it also made me realize that we are so used to AI. It took me 10 minutes to figure out how to raise the hand in WhatsApp, right? So it took me literally 15 minutes to find okay, React and stuff. Honestly, this is the reality of today, right? So what I wanted to say is that coming from what I speak earlier about the regulation and how to enforce or whatever ethical rules or whatever policies we make. So see, there are countries in the world which have some social behavior points. For example, specifically speaking about China. By the way, I do live in Taiwan, but I belong to Pakistan and I've relocated to Taiwan, so I don't look like Taiwanese. So don't be surprised. So see, there are social behavior points in countries, especially I've seen it noticed in mainland China. So, for example, if somebody collects garbage or somebody does littering, or they have some wrong parking, so their points get deducted. But if they get some points at the start of the year and they maintain those points, so they get some credit against that, right? So I think in the digital world, it is very much more convenient to have such system because you have a digital footprint of everybody, right? So I think we can come up with some framework that should have some AI points or AI ethics points or whatever we can name it, and each individual, just like we have an email ID or we have some LinkedIn ID, we should have some framework where everybody and every company should have those points, and against some publicly shared data. Of course, we cannot breach the privacy and go into the private space of individuals. But for example, if my public space is I post on LinkedIn, and if I talk about apps, applications which are not ethical, or which are promoting betting or maybe some wrong stuff, so these points get detected. And same goes for the companies. For example, if there is a company, for example, just to name a few, Nvidia to name. So the Nvidia should have these points in the category of companies, right? And they should have some different rules. And there should be some central automated system that should be ranking based upon that. So I think that is one way how we can regulate whole of the policy framework. So that was something which I wanted to say.
Love it. Thank you. Go ahead, Bawai.
Thank you, Khalid.
You know, one of the things I think Professor Gear hasn't spoken, and I don't see his image now. He has maybe taken a video, but hearing from you all has been very encouraging. This is a phenomenal start. And one thing I just want to always check, you know, this is something which I believe in all my life. We cannot solve every problem of the world. Okay, we have to limit our focus and our challenges and see where we can be effective as this group. We are not a government. We are not a corporation. What we are is a group interested in mobilizing those leaders who will have some authority, of course, but speak out, lay a framework. Ultimately, it is going to have to come down to an individual decision. Ultimately, we may do anything else. So if we can create enough momentum to have the knowledge available to every person, and then the choice is theirs. I don't think we can go and enforce policy. Maybe we can mobilize enough people who can lobby and say, okay, there is a way we can influence and bring some legislation. That's a big victory. Or get some corporation say, I am going to follow these principles of global ethics. Those are the kind of things which we have to limit to. So knowing what we are capable of, focusing on what we should be doing, and then slowly making an impact. This is a phenomenal group. We look forward to engaging with you on a regular basis. So stay tuned. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you, Bawa. Okay, just to summarize the meeting, I really want to thank you all to participate in the meeting today. I don't know if Bart want to say anything else or not.
How are you?
Okay. No, so what I'm going to do next is to send you the invitations via Slack so we can have a follow-up on the different conversation that we had today. I also wrote in the chat my phone number. If you want to create, I'm going to create a WhatsApp group. If you want to be included in this WhatsApp group, just drop me a message and I will add you. And yeah, so basically I'm going to share the presentation and the recording with you all, and we will be on touch. I will try to write you from the CRL email from now on, and yeah, so we will inform you about the next steps, and we will keep on touch. So basically we will try to meet at least once a month, or let's see how the process work. Okay, so just a reminder, you can take action today. We create an open letter that is publicly available in our website, and you can feel free to sign the letter, and also to share the letter with the network that you have. And don't forget, if you want to bring people in, there is many different profiles that can, add value to this group. So feel free to invite your network as well to collaborate with us. And having said that, I think it's time to go. And I wish you a very nice evening or night. And I hope that we can see each other soon again. Okay?
Thank you.
everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Virginia,
Bye.
for
Thank you
making
to
it
all of
happen.
you.
Bye.